If you're an agency or a business owner and you're on social media a lot, or you just keep up with the news a lot in general, you're probably always hearing a million different things from a million different people about AI and what they think it's going to be like. And to be honest, trying to keep up with everything that's happening in AI is more tiring, more exhausting than being on the worst drugs, because it's damn near impossible to keep up with everything that is happening in the AI field. And I found that trying to keep up with everything that is happening with AI leads to insane levels of information overload. And so my recommendation is to simply focus on yourself and limit the resources or the sources where you get your AI news from. And this guy, I think with this tweet, he pretty much summarized it the best. This guy does tend to say a lot of crazy things, but he said no one has the knowledge or wisdom to be optimistic or pessimistic about AI. He said this back in May, and I think it's still true. And so my goal for this video is to logically show you what the current state of AI is and how to use it to make you wealthy. And so what is current AI? First things first, you need to understand what the current AI in our world is. But what is it not? It's not AGI. I'm going to talk about AGI in this video. It stands for Artificial General Intelligence. I'm going to explain it later, but as of now, it is not AGI. It's not conscious. It doesn't have a sentient mind. It can't think for itself. And no, it's not intelligent. The best analogy would be that AI in today's world is a calculator, an information calculator. And so how does an information calculator compare to a math one? We all know what a math calculator is. We've used it in math class. We all use it in school. So how does that compare to an information calculator? Well, what is a math calculator? Well, first you put in an input, which for the most part is a number. Then you put in an operation, which can be division, subtraction, math, what am I missing? Addition. There's probably some other ones, but I'm just going to use the basic ones for this example. And then you get an output. Okay, so for example, 5 plus 5 equals 10. And so 5 plus 1 equals 6. 5 and 1 are the two inputs that you put in, and the plus addition is the operation, and then for the output is 6. When it comes to an information calculator, the way it works is it's a format plus a subject equals an output. So for example, create an essay about dogs. The format of this prompt right here is going to be essay. Different formats would be create an image, create a video, create, as it gets more advanced, there's more types of formats. But for this example, it's create an essay about dogs. So essay is the format. And then the subject is dogs. And so what's the output? You get an essay about dogs. For example, if you wanted to switch the subject, you can say create an essay about cats, create an essay about elephants, create an essay about, meat. Okay? So you can switch up the format and the subject to get a different output. And so just like math can get more complex, you have calculus, number theory, etc. It goes on and on. So can AI. You have AI agents, complex workflows, etc. Depending on whatever the goal is, whatever you're trying to solve, the AI needed to solve it can be more complex, the workflows can get more intricate, so on. And so let's talk about AGI. I mentioned it briefly in today's video about what actually is AGI. Okay, I mentioned it earlier, but it's a very broad topic, and a lot of stuff is unsolved. And so AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, refers to AI that can understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks at or above human level. Okay, that's very important. Understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks. And one of the biggest debates actually for AGI is what is the actual definition. So I just simply went to Grok, which is Elon Musk's AI, and I asked it, hey, what's the definition of AGI? And this is what it spit out. Okay, but depending on who you ask, everyone's going to have a different definition for AGI. And so what are the different predictions? Everyone has different crazy predictions, and it really can mess with your brain. It's a roller coaster to go on Twitter and, hear about everyone's predictions about AGI. You have people who are optimistic about it, and you have people who are pessimistic about it. And there's a lot of people on both sides. And then you have people who have different timelines. When do people think we're going to reach AGI? Some people say it's coming right now in 2025. Some people say it's, 5 to 10 years away or 3 to 5 years away. Nobody knows. But how do we actually test it when AGI comes? Well, there's something called the Turing test. It was created by someone named Alan Turing back in 1970 or 80 something, I forgot, maybe even before that. But basically, the Turing test evaluates a machine's ability to mimic human conversation so well that an evaluator, somebody testing it, cannot distinguish it from a human. And so, but today's chatbots, ChatGPT, all these chatbots nowadays, they pass the Turing test with ease. You can tell it to act like a human, and you won't be able to distinguish it from a human that you're texting. And so we created AGI, right? No. No, there's a problem with the Turing test. Okay, it's not as simple as that. And I think when it comes to this problem right here, there's two specific people who have the best insights and the best thought process, and they both can have similar mental frameworks. It's Naval Ravikant and the author of The Beginning of Infinity and The Fabric of Reality, David Deutsch. I can't pronounce his last name, but basically what Naval said, I'm going to read this really quickly. He said, Alan Turing proposed the Turing test, which turns out, I think, to be somewhat incorrect. It basically says if they can fool you into thinking it's a human, then it's good enough. The problem is the definition of you. So usually people who come back breathless saying we've invented AGI have just failed the Turing test from the other side themselves. So really an AGI, like a human, would be capable of unbounded creativity. It would be a universal explainer. So what is creativity? It's very hard to define. It is the growth of new knowledge that has not yet been discovered. And so an AGI would have to make substantial contributions to new knowledge through creative solutions, not just through exhaustively exploring the search space and previous data it's been fed on, but actually coming up with new problems and solving them. That's my closest thing to a definition, but it's not a great one. Okay. And then if you go to David, basically what he says about current AI and our progress on AGI, he says that we do not understand creativity nor how our brains produce new explanations of phenomena. We have no more idea of how our minds work in this respect than we have of how our brains work generally. Chatbots and the like are getting steadily more advanced. Chatbots are large language models like ChatGPT, Grok, DeepSeek. So they're getting more advanced, but there's no progress whatever towards artificial general intelligence, AGI. The so-called Turing test isn't one because there's no way of gouging by observation how much of the knowledge was in the input and how much was created by the program. So these statements encapsulate David's view that the advancements of chatbots and similar technologies does not equate to the progress towards true artificial general intelligence, primarily because we lack understanding of the creative process, fundamental human-like intelligence and creativity. And so for David, true AGI would need to be a universal explainer, not just a universal computer or predictor. This implies that an AI would need to have the capacity for creativity, critical thinking, and the construction of new explanations, not just processing or pattern recognition based on existing data, which all the modern, large language models currently do. And so if you don't know what a universal explainer is, it's someone or maybe something that can understand and create new explanations or new information. And so the problem that needs to be solved in order to create true AGI is creativity. What is creativity and how does creativity work in the human brains, and how can we implement that with code into a program, into an AI program? And so how are all the biggest AI companies trying to solve this problem? Well, their way of solving it is by increasing compute. And if you don't know what compute is, it's simply an AI. A compute refers to the processing power needed for training models on data and making predictions. More compute enables larger models, faster training, but at higher costs and energy uses. So basically, if you know NVIDIA, you've probably heard of how NVIDIA stock fucking blew up. It's because their chips, the GPUs, graphics processing units, all these large AI companies are buying these chips and putting them into large data centers and data clusters to make their AIs basically have more computational power, more processing power. And so the more GPUs they have, the more compute your AI has, and the more processing power and the more effective it's going to be. And a side note, the reason why DeepSeek is creating basically $2 trillion loss in the stock market, why it's making so much news, is because China, DeepSeek, found a way to create an effective, basically same effectiveness, maybe even more effective than ChatGPT, with less GPUs, with like a fraction of the cost. And so people here are like, why are we buying all these GPUs? Why are we spending all this money on NVIDIA's chips when we can make it for a fraction of the cost? And so it's just a huge explosion. It's crazy. Okay, so that's basically what compute is. Today's modern AI companies, the way they're solving creativity is by increasing compute. But is that the right way to solve it? There's no specific hard line between narrow AI and AGI. So right now we currently have narrow AI where each AI is, specialized as good in a narrow field, and AGI would be that the AI is better than humans across, generalized topics, across every topic. And so there's no hard line between, okay, once we step over this line, once we meet this criteria, we officially have AGI. There's no hard line. Okay, it's more of a, it's not a binary thing. It's more of a a spectrum, okay? And so depending on who you ask, people are gonna have different opinions. And so current AIs are information calculators, not universal explainers. A universal explainer would be AGI. And so increasing compute will make these information calculators more effective, but will not enable consciousness and turn them into universal explainers. And so what does all this mean for business owners and people running agencies like us? Well, AI won't replace your business, it's going to amplify it if you properly leverage it. Okay, the current AI will not replace your business. It's going to amplify it. And this is why you need to start leveraging it. So you and the other humans are the only universal explainers in your business, which basically means a universal explainer is you're able to create and understand new knowledge. Recently, there's been a huge breakthrough in technology, the advancement of information calculators, which is basically today's AI. These information calculators are groundbreaking tools that make things cheaper, more efficient, and higher quality for people and businesses. And billions upon billions of dollars are being spent towards the advancement of this new technology in hopes that one day it will be able to universally explain things better than humans can, which would be AGI. And as of now, these info calculators are getting more effective by the day, becoming so effective that they are able to do redundant tasks that previously could only be done by humans. Every business is looking to implement these information calculators into their business, and you can be the one to implement it for them. Remember, the people who made the biggest fortunes in the gold rush weren't the people digging for gold, but the ones selling the shovels. And will AI ever become a universal explainer? Will we ever reach true AGI? Nobody knows. Okay, nobody truly knows. Everyone has their optimistic or their pessimistic opinions. Some people in Silicon Valley are can probably benefit from telling you that, we're going to reach AGI within a year or two, but nobody truly knows. Okay, nobody even truly knows what AGI is. And so please take, who you get your information from. Limit where you get your information from, and be careful of, people's opinions and where you're deriving your information from. And so these few sentences right here is, from all the information that I've consumed, is how I'm thinking about AI nowadays and how I'm going to leverage it for other businesses. And so as online marketing agencies, your job for the most part is to solve redundant problems for other businesses. These problems include things like marketing, running ads, scripting, shooting, media buying, creating content, same thing, sales process, automating, specific sequences, calling leads, funnel optimization, with systems, customer support, systemizing things, hiring, automation, and a bunch more. I just listed out, like the most common ones. But it's basically to solve redundant problems that you're specialized in for other businesses. And so the current AI system in today's world are perfect for solving these repetitive/redundant problems. You can make a fortune by solving these redundant problems with different AI tools and mechanisms. And so what are the three biggest business use cases for current AI, these info calculators that we have today? Number one is cost. They can make things cheaper. Number two is efficiency. They can make things more efficient. And number three is quality. They can have a higher quality work or output compared to humans or whatever system they were using before. And so every business knows that they need to be implementing AI into their everyday operations, or else they will become obsolete. They will become useless, which means that the demand is through the roof. And so in the description of this video, I linked the video where I go over the exact AI business model that enables me and tons of other people to sell AI services to other businesses for 10K plus per package. Check it out if you would like to learn how to do the same exact thing. And so go ahead and check out this video if you want to learn exactly how to take advantage of this huge opportunity. And I'll see you on the next one.